I'm giving them money. That's
all right.
I can talk about it.
He's here. Welcome to the stream, Dick Masterson.
Hello. What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. Eric, what are you doing, man? Why are you this sensitive to simple criticism? Like, even coming from Ethan, who's like an industry veteran, dude. It comes off as so childish and insecure. You know that, right?
I disagree. I think you're dramatizing what's happening, but I'm cool with that.
Well, read chat, buddy. Read chat, because they know. Chat always knows. You're
cool.
coming up for a guy who made $3.7 million fucking dollars that you can't take like basic story structure critiques that I didn't even invent.
I'm okay with basic story structure critique.
Okay, what's your plot?
As far as what?
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Why on earth would I explain all of that? What do you mean, like going into the future for Isom 1, 2, and 3?
No, I'm talking about book 1. What's the plot? Like, what's the character's
what part did you
motivation?
not understand? What part are you confused on? I'll answer any questions that you have. Just be direct.
Okay. What are Isom's superpowers? He's a superhero. He puts himself in danger. We need to know what kind of super abilities he has to know if he's risking his life.
Do you see him do anything super in the book?
Yeah, he gets thrown down into a car and smashed the shit out of the car. So he seems like a superhero.
What about you remember the guy that he fought, Santuan? He fought him twice. Did he do anything super during those interactions?
Yeah, he jumped off a wall and then flipped around in midair and threw him through that same wall. That's pretty super.
So that means that you at least see that he, as far as what his powers are, he's able to do some super things. What you don't know is like the origin of those powers and to what extent. And we'll get to explaining those. Just be patient. It's the first book.
Okay, so he does have superpowers? I mean,
yeah, I think when you fall from as far as he did when he got thrown onto a car
why does
by
Yara,
as well as when he jumps off a wall and then he jumps into another exit and rams him into a brick wall and the brick wall breaks. I think it's pretty obvious, and I don't have to hold the person's hand and explain that to them that he probably has powers because of regular.
Why don't you just say yes then? What's up with
this
like smug attitude? Why that's kind of been my problem this whole time. Like I gave you very basic notes of
and we went through those notes. We went through those notes, no problem. We went through.
Yeah, I know you called me a hoe ass N-word while you were going through the notes. I saw that, but
yeah, I went through the notes and we talked about all of that. You called me a scammer, so yeah, that makes you a hoe ass nigga because you lying about my business. So
yeah,
I do stand by that. I want to be clear now that you hear.
Your business is marketing anti-woke shit to morons.
Well, that's and you're free to that opinion. I've never marketed anything as such, but you called my business a scam. This is something that's my livelihood.
Dance on the graves
you called my business a scam, and I called you a hoe ass nigga, and now you're hearing me calling you one, and I just want to be clear. That's
you said you were going to dance on the graves of Marvel and DC comic artists.
No, what I said, no. See, you're getting a saying wrong. At least get it correct if you're going to talk about it. What I'm saying is, I said I'd moonwalk on the dead careers of comic pros is what I said.
Well, I
heard me say that on your stream as well. I said it all the time.
Is this more? This is like the assault thing. Like you get hung up on these really simple details. I can't tell if you genuinely don't understand the point, or if you're just trying to.
What point have I not addressed? What else do you want me to say?
You have set yourself up as an alternative to other comics.
Now you're mad. Now you're mad. Just calm down.
I am mad because you're lying. You're lying to your audience and you're lying to me. You set yourself up as an upcoming alternative to mainstream comics, and that buying your shitty book for $40 would somehow strike a blow into Marvel and DC comics.
I think you're being disingenuous. I'll explain exactly what the point I'll explain exactly what the point is. Am I a competitor? Yes. I have 3 principles with the rippaverse.
You're not.
All right, well, that's fine. You're free to that opinion. Nonetheless, I have 3 principles. We have that over there at the Rippaverse Ethics. And one of those, of course, there are people that have issue. I've griped and moaned about the mainstream, and I've talked about it extensively about my certain issues. And I went through every bit of that in building my actual company. So to those people, yes, they may find that my company and the books that we make and we put out or release, publish, whatever you want to call it, the books that we put out, they might enjoy that. This idea that I'm going to topple, I believe you said that to me in a tweet, something about toppling Hollywood. That's not anything that I've ever presented to do.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
not
that's a
making movies or
euphemism
anything.
because Hollywood is all Marvel now. Like Hollywood is comic
Okay.
books right now. So
Well,
saying you're
I'm
challenging
in
mainstream
the business of
comics
making
is saying like I'm going to challenge Hollywood. Like I don't
No,
understand why you're taking issue
no,
with something that is like a fine.
that's not
it's
really
totally
my
fine
approach.
to say you're challenging Hollywood. I don't know
No,
why you're not.
no, that's cool. That's inaccurate though. That's fine. That's inaccurate.
Well,
That's
so
not my-
so do your customers think that you're challenging Hollywood? Like I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. You're one of the few people that I've ever heard worded as such, as far as like toppling Hollywood. Like I've never even presented myself as if I was going to do that. Now,
Okay,
if
so
they
what are you
feel that
doing
way,
then?
thankfully, but I'm gonna need a lot more than $3.7 million to do that.
Well, you're going to need a good story, and you don't have one.
And that's fine.
And
You're
you
free.
don't
I
even
disagree.
understand
You
what's
can have
wrong
that
with your
position.
story. See, your main character has no motivation. He's doing a wellness check on a girl that's the daughter of a friend of a family that goes to church. And then when he finds that girl, she doesn't even say she's in trouble. Your entire
It's
plot
almost
revolves.
as if there's going to be more. That's not a plot hole. It's almost
No,
as
it's
if there's
no
more
plot.
to it.
It's not a plot hole. It's no plot.
Well,
There is
no, it's
no
plot. It's
reason for
plot.
him to be involved at all. She's not in
Okay.
trouble. She
Okay.
doesn't say she's in trouble.
All right.
There's no indication she's in trouble.
Right,
Your plot
right.
is literally nothing.
Okay, so do you not know why did I'm gonna ask you this question since you supposedly read it. Why did Isom go back to the club after he was thrown out the first time?
Because he was disrespected. Because he's a stand-in
Okay,
for
so you just said-
and the
you
only
just
thing
said
you
that he
care
had-
about is
he-
being disrespected.
Okay, so you just said that he had no motivations and you just named one.
But that's not a good motivation for a
All right,
hero.
if you
man.
don't
That's
like
like
that,
a motivation for a
if you don't
shithead.
like that, if you don't like that as a motivation for why he was really driven to go back to that club, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just disagree.
Yeah, but it also doesn't flow from the first motivation. Like your first motivation should be enough to start the story, and then as it evolves during the story, it should become more personal to the hero.
Well,
Yours
that's exactly
doesn't
what
evolve.
happened. That's
It's just-
literally what
No,
happened
it's
with the
open-
disrespect.
It's totally
That's-
different. It's
No,
out of nowhere
all right.
that he's
All right, so that's literally
disrespected.
what happened. All right, I'm gonna explain it to you. He first went, and again, you're free to disagree with that and not like it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But he first went to see what's up with Jasmine upon the request of his sister, right? He goes and sees her. Something happens out of that, and he specifically makes it personal, right, to him and he goes through the internal dialogue as far as why he's wanting to do this. He talks about him not being a detective. He talks about the fact that this could make the issue worse, but I actually want to punch this guy in his face. He discusses each and every bit of that during the internal dialogue. You're saying, I guess, that motivation for him doing that, because I guess he has flaws and all that, is not good enough for you for the first book. That's fine with me. I just disagree.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not good, and that if you want to be a comic writer, you should
And
learn what makes good motivation.
I disagree. I think.
Well, but that's the problem. Is you're a beginner. You don't know shit about
Well,
this, and you
again-
disagree with everything.
Again, I can disagree with your position, but there are people that have the complete opposite position, and your word isn't gospel. That
yeah,
might
your friends who want to suck your ass so they can get access to all that
and
money in
that's
your
cool
audience.
with me. That's cool with me. You don't have to disrespect my customers there, but there are people
No,
that
they
have
have
the
money.
complete-
I'm disrespecting your friends.
No, I don't have that many. I don't have
Hey.
40,000 friends. I don't have 40,000 friends, by the way. Nonetheless, you don't have to disrespect my customers,
I'm not.
and that's cool. That's cool. If you
I'm
don't
disrespecting
like the
your
story,
friends.
if I don't have 40,000 friends, but if you don't like the
No,
story,
I'm
that's your business. You're
disrespecting
good.
your friends that are telling you you're doing a good job.
All right, that's cool. That's cool, and that's fine. That's your business.
Do you not understand? Like, do you not think that you could get better by listening
Yes.
to some of these notes? Like, do you not
Absolutely.
understand
to
that?
yours? I'm gonna be completely honest. To yours, no. But there are people
Yeah.
that I can listen to whose opinion that I value. It's just not yours.
Yeah. Okay. So you think your story was good?
Yep.
What cliffhanger did it end on? Your book, the big
didn't
buy the
read it?
second. Yes, I read. I don't know why you're telling people I didn't read the book when I took like exhaustive notes on.
Yeah, I know. You got some things fundamentally wrong, and that's why I thought that you
Hey,
maybe didn't read it, or maybe you
think
was
you're
reading
just,
from someone
like,
else's notes.
I think I don't know if you're like weirdly obsessively fixated on lines that I wrote while I was reading so I could remember later, but or if you're like disingenuously misrepresenting the notes that I gave
like you did my book, like you did some of the events in my book.
I think your book is a story failure. I
And
think
that's
it's
fine,
a
that's
structural
fine, but
failure.
you-
that's not
you-
misrepresenting it.
Well, no, misrepresenting would be like claiming that someone assaulted someone when they didn't. That would be misrepresenting.
Nah, if you don't know if somebody's a good, hey, if a big black guy on the street grabs a girl, that's assault in my book. And if she doesn't say like, oh yeah, hey, how are you? That's assault.
Okay. All right. So putting his hand on the shoulder of someone saying, hey, let me know if this is involuntary to you is assault. All right. I for sure won't be listening to anything you have to
it's
say.
like it's a joke that I'm writing these notes for myself so I remember. It's not a major thing, but I saw him grabs Jasmine's shoulder, and then the security guard grabs his shoulder and he goes, who are you to just grab somebody's shoulder? Like he just did that in the panel right before it.
What he said was why is this your first instinct? Because he told him obviously in an aggressive way, which is the complete opposite of what Isom did. You see that he's grabbing him in the way that he did, and he uses that to justify whooping the guy's ass.
Yeah.
And then he walks in the club. And the other thing that you misrepresented, which is hilarious, where you try to give me advice, but the actual advice that we were talking about this earlier, the actual advice that you give me there is exactly what happened, where you say what he should have did was go in there, run in the club, warn everybody, and then get attacked. And that's exactly what happened. Yet you said that's what I should have done.
I mean, you're hung up with like small details
I'm hung
that I would have
up. So you mentioned something that you say.
No.
I
support that, but it's just not important. I support that
man.
it's just a waste of everybody's time. Like Isom comes in and says, "Ladies, if you you better leave because if you get involved, I'm going to beat your ass too." That's not a very heroic thing to say. That's what the bad guy in fucking RoboCop said, dude. Like I know you have no working memory of other properties. That's why your book sucks so much. But that's what bad guys say.
Anything
else
you want
to? Hero thing though, Dick. That's one of the things that I don't understand, that you think that he's supposed to be a superhero. I don't think he was represented as a superhero in the book at all. He was represented as a guy with powers. We don't actually know if he's a super quote unquote hero yet or not.
Right. He still has to be a protagonist, which means he has to be identifiable. He has to be identified. We have to identify with what he's doing. Walking in. Well, then what did you identify with, Nina? What was the cliffhanger to you?
It is a superhero book, though, so I think most people going into this assume the character has powers.
Yeah.
Why is it a weird debate?
Cover, dude. It's on the cover. Like he's a powered dude that's fucking punching this chick. Like
I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of comics, but I'm pretty sure there's a Batman comic where a guy is punching.
Just off of the book alone, you can assume he has some kind of enhanced strength and like flight, like that, or high agility. There's artwork of him out there like doing some flying.
I just know what I read in the book.
He does some agility stuff,
like hovering.
He doesn't fly. Okay, see, all this stuff, Eric, is good to get out of the way in the introduction of your book.
It says in the book he doesn't fly.
He explicitly says it in the book.
Yeah.
He explicitly says it.
Flash, did you
read it? He goes through the internal dialogue.
He literally says in the book that he doesn't fly.
This is what I'm talking about with you not being in good faith, because you can't get fundamental things correct. Because you're so for whatever reason, angry at myself and the success it is that we saw, and you're just shitting on people's friends and customers and all, and going on about this other stuff. And you can't even get fundamental thing wrong. He specifically goes through internal dialogue about him not being able to fly. You claim to have read the book and you couldn't even.
I didn't think he could fly until Flash said he could fly.
Well,
you just tried to lecture me. Hold on.
When there was the material to promote the book, there was something out there that looked like he was doing like a
hold on.
Flash, so you thought he could fly, right?
Okay. So you said you read the book, right?
No fucking answer. Every time I ask anything about Isom, no fucking answer, because none of you guys read this piece
you
of
said
shit.
You read the book, right, homie? You said you read the book, right, homie? So why would you try to lecture me on some things that we should go through when he specifically goes through that internal dialogue?
I didn't say he could fly, you jackass. Flash.
No, that's not what I see. All right.
Yeah, to be fair, I read the book.
You just said no. What you just said, what you just went. Now you're very angry, and that's cool. But you just calm the fuck down. You ain't gonna do shit.
I'll be as angry as I want.
You're not gonna do shit. You're not gonna do shit to anybody. Anyway, like I was saying, you tried to lecture me. You tried to lecture me about going through like why I should have went through something, and then what you specifically are referring to, I actually went through it in the book. You get this critical error wrong.
What are you
multiple
talking about?
times. Multiple times.
About?
He goes through the internal dialogue of him not being able to fly, and you just tried to let.
Eric,
we need to rewind that.
Fly, you stupid fuck! Flash.
You just went through. No,
Flash
you just
said he could fly. I said
all right,
he
so
could
you
fly.
just said this is something that I should have went through. I'm trying to explain. I don't know if we need to rewind it. I don't know if the acoustics is bad.
Well, Flash
where
didn't
you're
get it, and
sitting. What I'm saying is. You just tried to lecture me about it.
I read it when it came out, so it's been a long time since
you tried to let
this fucking monologue is aimed at you, Flash. I don't know. I knew he couldn't fly.
No,
you said he could.
You just said that this was something that you tried to lecture me of. This is something that I should have gone through. Did you not just say that?
Yeah, because Flash didn't get it.
Okay, so if he didn't get it, you can't lecture me about something that I actually went through. If you want to say that that's a failure on Flash's comprehension or something, that's fine.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about what you just said.
Yeah, it was kind of a joke at Flash's expense. Like the overall point is that your story sucks. There's
all right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, I understand.
You don't explain why
I understand that you don't like the story.
You don't give these emotional moments in the book that you need to have a good story. They're
cool.
Totally
I thought
absent.
they had an emotional moment in the book when he was talking to his niece. I thought that was emotional. I liked it. I like that part. So I understand one of your criticisms that I thought I agreed with was the hook, because I thought that the hook could have been stronger in the sense of him going out to look for the girl to begin with. But otherwise, Dick, your criticisms have been very hollow. Like you're nitpicking at very, very specific things that have actually been explained in the book, like this flying situation that you just talked about. Or like somehow you have a bleeding heart for women all of a sudden, and then black man approaching a woman in the street is apparently assault now.
I made a joke about that being assault. Like that's you understand that the notes are just like a running dialogue that I have while I'm reading the book.
I understand that.
And then the big description of why the story does not work and where it can be improved is the point. You guys are focused on these little details and observations I made at the top.
You're specifically hung up on little details. You're saying you need to tell me every single detail of every single power that he has. Why isn't he flying?
No, I would like any indication of the powers.
And he's saying, just wait, I'll tell you the origin story at some point. And you're saying that's not good enough for a first issue. Then you have no fucking plot, that you have no story. That's not the case, because a lot of people enjoyed the story like I did. I enjoyed the story. I read it. It was good.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. My point was, this is why the story is not good.
Dick, the problem is that you attacked his business first. Yeah. And that's why he's not listening to you. The reason why he's not receptive to what you have to say is because you attacked his business first and foremost. And then you went ahead and gave your notes about the book. And so he's mad because you called him a scammer and you attacked the woke thing. And you do that and you're going to shut somebody down and they're not going to listen to you. And that's why he's not receptive to your notes at all and doesn't give a shit what you have to say. And that's the situation that we find ourselves in right now. So he doesn't want to hear you. And that's,
I understand. And I thank you for letting me on. I defended Eric's marketing for a year, leading up to this final note taking, leading up to actually reading it. And
welcome,
I'm pro. Thank you. I'm pro marketing. I think the marketing is great. I think the marketing you did, Eric, was a huge success. And I thought it was great that you could, as I explained to Vito, I thought it was great that you told a story where people could spend money and feel good about what they were spending the money on. And that was what I thought the book was. That's what it represented to people who bought it. I think they bought it as a trophy to have, and that was a good thing to me. But as soon as it turned into the book is a financial marketing success to equals it's a creative success, I said, well, that's not true. The creative part is not there, and this is what could be changed. And I believe strongly that those two are separate things. And after that, it turned into a very petty and very childish flame war between us. And that's where it is.
No, that's not what happened. There's no flame war between you. Like you came in with the energy that you came in with. This is something that you take issue with what it is that I do. This is not the other way around. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know, other than the fact that you haven't accomplished anything in the space it is that I'm actually in. I don't know anything about you like that. And quite frankly, I don't care. It's not important by any means. Like I said, it's not like you have some sort of sense of accomplishment that would make your opinion of me or even my product that valuable like that. You've already, like to Ethan's point, you went off the rip calling me a scammer, right? You basically advocated piracy of my own product. So you essentially are knocking me, and that's cool. Like I said, that's cool with me that you're knocking me. However, I'm just not going to be listening to you of all people, and that's it. This isn't a feud. This isn't a me against you. I don't know. It's just you went after me. I don't know you like that. I'm not reviewing your stuff. I don't care to review your stuff. I don't know you like that. So it's not a feud by any means. You just took issue with it, and I'm cool with that. You don't like the story. You think the book sucks. Fine with me. We went through your criticism. Consider it a criticism of your criticism. I felt it largely lousy, pathetic. It didn't make a whole lot of sense in the context of actually reading the book. And it certainly didn't read like someone, as far as the actual write-up, like someone that even bothered to actually read it. But you claim you did. Cool. Either way, you are free to dislike it, and I'm free to reject your position on this. What I'm saying is your position ain't gospel. Right. So if you don't think it's a creative success, fine. If you don't think it had a good enough story, you thought it sucked, you thought it was trash, we all good over here, homie. Other people don't feel that way. There are other people that like the book. We talk about it all the time on my stream. They have no issues with the motivation. They're excited about some of these characters it is that I've created. Your position or your opinion of me is not gospel. You are not the beacon of truth. You are not the person that is all ever knowing. You possess the knowledge to understand, because you, again, being the beacon of truth, you understand that this sucks or it doesn't. That's not how it works. You're just a dude with an opinion. And that's cool with me.
I look forward to reviewing Isom too.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Hopefully you buy it this time, you cheapskate.
No, I don't buy media. Didn't I miss it? I only wanted a PDF because I thought I couldn't
terrible.
buy it.
Get on rippaverse.com, Dick. Get out of here with
you owe him a
superkiller.org to buy Vito's comic and compare the two. That's where, right, Nina? I know I'm going to send you a copy of Superkiller.
Good Lord, please don't.
You can keep it in the wrapper just like you keep Eric's.
Is it going to be like the anti-hero, which is so funny that it's like what his comic book guy is like the anti-hero is going around killing. That's so funny that he chose that as his main character. It's so like Vito to be like, I'm the anti whatever the fuck everyone's talking about. I'm pro pedos. Like that's what he's all about. Right?
I love it. Yeah. I love the we're pedophiles and racists because we don't like the comic.
Who is
hey, no, I know. Never said
killing?
you.
Is he killing
you,
like pedophile superheroes?
Actually, he only goes after Vito himself. Actually, that's another thing. Why are you guys so into this pedo shit?
Why
Vito?
are you so into
all you gotta do is watch that stream that he did with
maybe
Nina.
Some of us are parents. No, wait a minute. Maybe some of us are
Where's
parents.
the comedy in that?
Like pedophiles.
Wait.
None of us like pedophiles, right? Can we all admit
man.
that none of us like pedophiles?
Vito sits out here every day and he's like, pedos. I'm
now.
a pedo, dude. If a guy stood outside my house yelling pedo, I'd take their word on it.
Let's pull up the stream that he did with Nina and watch it right now. Let's watch that comedy.
Can we not say yes or no? We're all anti-pedophile?
Yo, I'm anti-pedophile.
Of course. I'm anti-pedophile.
Everybody in the world has been pretty much anti-pedophile, right?
Not Vito.
Doesn't seem like Vito does, because every time someone talks bad about a pedophile, he runs out there with a shield.
Yeah, every fucking time Vito's like, oh, the pedos. We got to have sympathy for them.
He really likes them. He feels bad for him, Dick.
Well, you don't feel bad for pedophiles?
No.
Well, I could say Canada has the solution for people with mental illness.
You do feel bad for pedophiles?
No.
Are you kidding me? You have a compulsion to fuck kids and you can't get rid of it? That's horrible.
And you feel sorry for that? That's sick, man.
Why
That's
would
fucking
you?
sick.
It's a mental
Why
illness.
would you want anyone to have? You don't feel sorry for people with mental illnesses? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Go and get fucking help.
Look,
Don't
it's
fuck
beyond
kids
a mental illness.
to fix it.
You're putting it on the same
man.
level as somebody who's depressed. and somebody who has mental illness is not the same.
That's y'all partner, not mine. I don't know this nigga like that. I'll be right back.
It's not the same as somebody who
has
has
a new medical treatment for people with mental illness.
Yeah, killing themselves, right?
Canada has a new treatment for people with mental illness.
Hey,
finish the joke.
Look.
Okay, can we all agree that everybody's just buying Eric's book to have it and they're not actually reading it while he's gone? Can we all?
Hey, I read it. I read it twice. I did read it. I read the comics I buy.
Patrick, what'd you think of it since you read it and you bought it? I'm guessing.
There it is.
No. I enjoyed it, but I will say this. It was.
Do you not know what's going on in Canada, Dick?
Yeah, people are killing themselves.
Yeah, if you're mental illness, homeless, they offer medical assisted suicide.
I mean, I would think pedophiles would want to do that.
Good.
I hope Vito moves there.
That's the solution.
Look, Patrick. Now that Eric's back, please tell us what you thought of Eric July's book.
Why don't you go move next to one, Dick?
A pedophile?
Yeah.
I'm sure that I live next to at least one.
He does a show with one every week.
Yeah, they're very identified. They're all over the place. I've been on Megan's Law. I know they're fucking. I used to live in Hollywood, bro. You load up Megan's Law and it looks like a fucking Pac-Man game in Hollywood. What do you? What am I supposed to say to that? Oh wow.
Do you feel sorry for him? Wow.
Yeah. That would be horrible. I mean, if we had a cure for pedophilia, we would cure them, right?
I have a cure.
There is a cure. It's in Canada.
Yeah, you don't.
They should move there.
I feel like I'm talking to like a bunch of retarded jocks. Like we would cure them of the desire to fuck kids, right?
Well, that's what that medical solution that Canada offers will help solve.
Hilarious. So we would like cure them of the desire,
not meant to be
right?
A joke, Dick.
It's not a joke. That's literally how we feel.
That is fucking retarded. You can't even think it through. Like, if we could cure it, like with a wish, and get rid of it in the human genome, we would.
We would, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would be right.
Thank you, Ethan.
But that's.
But that doesn't mean that I feel sorry for them in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I would do a lot of things if I had a wish.
Very tough. It's very tough.
You know.
Oh yeah, because I'm so
very tough. I mean, you're sounding tough. That's.
I mean,
but
Dick, I would do a lot of
you're
things.
calling
I
hear Vito's pretty far from tough when you meet him in real life.
Vito, he's a big fat guy. I don't think he wants to be tough. What do you mean?
Well, he just runs his mouth a lot online. Doesn't seem to have any backbone when you meet him in person. From what I hear.
What do you want to fight him, Flash?
Sure.
Is that what I mean? That's your values. You talk online and then you meet somebody and you want to get into a fist fight with him.
No, but I bet if he talks a lot of shit online. But I bet if you asked him about his problems in person, he'd be quite the little bitch about it.
Like problems like what? I mean, me and Vito protested the biggest trans rally in the world, right? And got attacked and shit. What have you done? Confrontationally, what have you done?
He looked real tough there in that.
Well, what have you done? What real life altercations have you been in?
Well, I've definitely not ran out and defended pedophiles left and right.
So none? Sure. So you've been in no confrontations like that? I mean, you're calling Vito a bitch, but what have you done?
Not defended pedophiles.
Okay, so nothing. You're just
not defended pedophiles.
Oh, you're going to kick his ass in person? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I said I'd like to talk to him about his problems if I ever met him. I didn't say I was going to kick his problems. But you implied that he wouldn't get physical with you. What did you mean by that? Because he's a bitch.
So he wouldn't get in a fist fight with you over an opinion that he had.
No, I bet you he would apologize immediately.
Or else what?
Well, there'd be no issue.
Okay. So he just would reverse his opinions because he was afraid of you physically?
Sure.
Okay. Great. Very forward thinking, guys.
What'd you think of the book?
Forward thinking, yeah.
No one cares.
Forward thinking, man.
Let's have a wood chipper moment.
Man. How many kids have you ever? How many pedophile victims? If you want to play the what about game, how many pedophile victims have you sat down with and actually done something about? Since we're talking about victims, never, probably none, man.
How many pedophile victims
you want
to
troll. You're troll, man. We know you're a troll, dude. And that's fine. That's why I stay out of these.
I mean, I'm doing just as much as you guys ranting about kicking Vito's ass because he said.
yeah.
I have no idea what he even said.
Why do you defend pedophiles, Dick?
Why do I defend pedophiles raping kids? I don't do that.
Well, you feel sorry for him.
Why does every conversation with you retards go into calling people pedophiles? Nobody likes pedophiles.
Not
even
pedophiles
like pedophiles.
Well, let's pull up Nina's stream.
I mean,
Hold on.
you're such fucking scumbags. You call everybody pedophiles. That's your whole thing. That's the only arrow in your quiver. Do you know how fucked that is, Nina, to call somebody a fucking pedophile?
No, we said he's a pedophile lover. He sympathizes with them. That's all we said. We didn't call him a pedophile. We don't.
Can we talk about comics again? Is there any chance
Patrick,
that we could get off the kid fucking? I mean, it's just enough. You know.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm bringing the mood down, and I'm just gonna keep fighting with everybody.
I'm gonna pull up Nina's stream where she talked to Vito. You don't want to watch it?
Yeah, know
Vito's.
I know we all hate pedophiles, right? So I don't know what this is gonna prove.
Seem like Vito does.
Not enough for you guys. Sorry. No, I don't know if anybody hates pedophiles.
We started, Dick, you came in here because we were talking about story. Okay.
Hold on, another question. He says he defends cuties because of free speech. Then why does he try to get people's platforms taken down? Like when he sent clips of Andy Worski sending the N-word.
This is about deplatforming. So you're calling Vito a pedophile because he tried to deplatform one of your friends.
Well, no. When you ask
Vito, you changed the goalpost. You changed the goalpost so much, Dick.
When you ask Vito
such a tool.
Why he defends cuties, why does he defend cuties? He says because of free speech. Why, if he supports free speech, why does he try to silence people's speech by tagging Team YouTube on Nerdrotics to try to get his channel taken down when he got Alex Jones on?
He got angry.
He deplatform him. I'm angry.
He got angry.
Nerdrotic.
Yes, he got angry and did that.
Right.
He said that.
And then the next week, it was really hilarious when he went on InfoWars.
And it was.
Also, Andy Worski had that boxing match, and then he's tagging the Sun, sending clips of Andy saying the N-word to the boxing arena and the promoters. Where's the free speech in that? I don't understand that. But Cutie's defense is free speech. But he's quite willing to silence people's speech left and right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a liberal. What do you want? That's what they do.
Yeah, I think he likes kids.
Okay, Nina, what was that about how no one's calling him a pedophile? There you fucking go.
He lays a lot of eggs down to pick up, doesn't he?
There you go, Nina. What did I fucking say?
Look, he says he sympathizes with them a lot. It's kind of questionable. That's all. So people... I have a valid opinion about what he puts out.
Story. I think story is very important for independent comics. It's more important for independent comics to get story right than anything else. Eric, I apologize for calling you a scam artist. I don't think you are, but I glibly refer to marketing and scams as the same thing because I think they kind of are. I'm in marketing, and I it's just like a kind of joke that I say. I don't think it's a scam. I think you could work on your storytelling and get better. And I hope everybody in indie comics gets better with their stories.
I'm happy to hear what your guys' solutions are, and I assume it's to line them up against the wall and shoot them in the head, but I think that's not going to get the results you want either.
I think you're essentially equating other mental illnesses like depression and anxiety to people who are inherently predatory and have the urge to harm children. And I don't think that's right to put it on the same playing field of, oh, well, this was stigmatized. So just like that, we have to destigmatize pedophilia, because by sympathizing with them, like how you're doing, which you've said in chat that you sympathize with them, that they deserve empathy, you are normalizing it. And what does that do? That incentivizes it. And when you normalize it, they're going to come out of the woodwork. And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to get lined up against the wall and shop, be like, oh, we found them, guys. No, what's going to happen is people are going to start feeling bad for them and then not doing that. So that is the problem with sympathizing with them. You are encouraging that behavior, and you are therefore enabling more children to get hurt.
I understand the position you guys take on it, where you think that any sort of...
And also, you didn't directly answer my last question, and I wanted to answer.
Give it to me again.
The question is, why do you keep mentioning that they can't help it? And you say, oh, well, it's to help them get treatment. I don't see where it connects there at all. Well,
I don't understand why you're concerned about me saying that. And to be clear, when we say they can't help it, I'm not saying they can't stop themselves from offending.
Right.
They clearly can stop themselves from that. But they have a sexual attraction that, I mean, let's be clear. I don't think people choose to be attracted to children. Why would you? It's insanity. This is something that enters their mind. And I would argue that most of these people would much prefer to have a normal human sexuality. People want to be normal. People don't want to live with this incredible fear that they might hurt something.
I disagree, Vito.
Totally reasonable.
That's where we have that disagreement, because I believe that the ones that are truly psychopaths, they're natural born psychopaths, or ones that have had brain injury, like that article was referring to, who basically no longer feel empathy the way normal people do. They do not have the capability to feel empathy or anything, in fact, for anybody, let alone like children. Like this is why they prey on them. And what you're saying is that you are projecting your own humanity onto them, and you can't. And that's the thing. You can't throw pearls and swines. It's just not going to work. And that's where we have a different difference in opinion, because you really do think that they are capable of empathy and change and whatever else. I don't think they are.
Someone who has the urge to fuck a child in the ass does.
Wow.
I don't think that needed to go there. Was that the clip?
No, there's more, but I'm just pausing for a second to see if anyone wants to say anything.
So
I mean, it seems totally normal. Like, yeah, I bet they don't. I bet they don't want to be fucking pedophiles. Yeah.
Yeah, but his argument is that we need to create a safe space so that they can come out and tell us that they're into kids. And that was his whole argument.
I don't have a fucking psychology degree, so I don't know I don't know the best. I don't know the best way to limit harm to children. As long as, like, you understand that Vito thinks he's saying a way that will limit harm to children, right? Like, yes, that's his idea of saying, like, maybe if we let him come out and get them help, he's a liberal. Maybe if we let him come out and get him help, that will limit harm. Like,
right. And that the whole stream is about how we don't think that that's necessarily going to help. And then he just keeps going on and on about how he still sympathizes with them and empathizes with their struggle.
I mean, he thinks he's limiting harm to kids. So, yeah, he's pretty fucking passionate about it, as are you.
Yes,
like a lobotomy would probably help.
Oh, well, I mean, that's, obviously that's your guys' position on it. I think people have been trying to kill pedophiles for like 100,000 years. So
why is he so passionate about it, Dick?
Why is he so passionate about limiting harm to kids? I think.
Why is he so passionate about defending pedophiles?
No, he's passionate about limiting harm to children, and he thinks that by tricking them into coming out and getting therapy, that would limit harm to children. What do you have, fucking cum in your ears, you idiot? You can't hear that?
I hear him defending pedophiles every time he gets a chance to.
He's trying to limit harm to kids by saying, like they go to homeless people. They send social workers after them. That's what liberals think. They think if you just say, well, let's just be really nice to these people and we can get them some treatment, maybe they'll stop stealing. Like, I don't think it's a great idea, but that's what they all think.
He is a pretty typical liberal. He likes to flag people's channels down and.
I agree. Yeah. I fucking agree with you, but that doesn't make him a pedophile. He just thinks the dumb liberal way of thinking. All right, I came on to talk about story again. I apologize. I don't know. I think Eric's gone. Good for him.
No, he's coming back.
Eric, I apologize for calling you a scammer. I don't think you're running a scam. I want the parallel economy, but whatever, to get better. I want your thing. Your thing's already a success. It doesn't matter what I say. It's already a success. I want you to hear it from somebody else about story and shit, because I think writing stories is fun. I've done it for a long time, and I think you'd have fun doing it too. That's it. I'm sorry I said a bunch of mean shit. You said a bunch of mean shit too, but I don't. That's just my piece. All right.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Everybody go to dick.show. Dick.show. See you later.
Hey, listen. Hey, what? thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Flash. I'm sorry for what I said about you too. Goodbye.
It's fine. I'm not.
Apologize to me too.
We all get passionate about children, right? We all get very passionate about saving children.
To be fair, I don't know Vito or you, but I just don't like Vito and his opinions, and I think he's a fucked up person. I don't know you, so
he would agree. I'm very fucked up. Believe me, the fact that I'm not drunk on a Saturday right now is a fucking miracle. So, but I want to protect kids just as much as everybody else. We all want to protect kids. Please, let's figure out how to do it. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let me get some super chats real quick. Hold on. Because there's a whole bunch that came in, but I didn't want to stop anything. I know there was a 20 when I missed.
I hate those fucking pedophile conversations, though. Everybody's like, hey, I don't have a psychologist. I do. I fucking do. I work with child victims. I did until it burned me the fuck out because I couldn't do it anymore. Because I work with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fucking child victims. And when we're talking about poor pedophiles, let's think about them. They're not the victim here. That's the problem. You sit across, I would challenge most people that see it that way to sit across the table from like a 7-year-old and have them tell you the worst fucking thing that could ever happen to a human being, but it happened to them as a child. And you try to figure out how the fuck they're going to be a whole human being, a functional human being again. And then you tell me about the sympathy for pedophiles. Because it will fuck you up inside. And that's not a statement about, like, ooh, me in this. I'm saying that sitting across from that will fuck you up inside. So imagine how bad those people are fucked up inside.
Just the fact that I've got to sit here and apparently feel sorry for them because they think about doing that to children is like beyond me. Like, it's like saying like
that y'all expected me to, like, of all people. And this will be the last day, like I said, about this bit. Like, that was obviously my first interaction with this person. That's the motherfucker y'all thought I was supposed to be listening to.
I didn't think so.
No,
hey, Eric, I didn't say anything.
I did not think you needed to listen. I mean,
no, seriously, because now, like that was the motherfucker I was supposed to be listening to. Like, straight up, like, you mean to tell me there are people that come into it viewing him and his content and like that conversation, and of all the people that he's really offering the legitimate criticism, that was the person? Like, I'm actually tripping out because that's worse than what I thought, right? But touche, man. People are into what they into, but holy shit. Like, we moved to a conversation where a motherfucker was sitting there, and now, I'm gonna have to listen to him try to, I guess he's a co-host with a motherfucker that empathizes with fucking pedophiles. That's the person I'm supposed to be listening to.
It's not it's just some context. So he has his Dick show, or Vito, I'm pretty sure, I don't think is a co-host, and then they have their joint.
No, yeah, he's a co-host of
on the Dick show
in the world.
Yeah, that's not the
not
Dick
the Dick
show.
show. Yeah, no.
That's two separate things. I just wanted to clarify on it.
The context,
but he is a co-host of him. He is a co-host on one.
Like I said, that's the last bit I say. I'm gonna take it for his word that, well, not really, but as long as he's good, let him do let him do his thing. But holy shit, please, people that watch me, big fans of Rippaverse, don't bring that motherfucker up no more, please.
Well, the context, though, that's left out of the pedo thing is that Vito's quote-unquote humor is calling himself a pedophile all the fucking time. He says he's a pedophile. If you scream, if you went out, if you took that edgy humor and you went out, would you do that in front of a school? Fuck no. You wouldn't do that. And as a parent, if somebody keeps telling me they're pedophile, I will take their word on it. I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're funny. Let me have my 9 and 3-year-old around you. No way would you ever do that. So that's where it is. It's not the clips of discussing, sympathies here or whatever. I mean, if you want to get into an abstract, that's by the way, that is an abstract discussion. That is not a clinical discussion. I don't work with pedophiles because that's not in me. I can't do that kind of work. That is not in me. And the reality too is a lot of pedos, they're not getting help through therapy. They're actually they're being monitored and forced not to go out and to attack children. I mean, if you do not constantly monitor a pedophile, in the first year, the recidivism rate is 4 out of 5. You put them in therapy, you watch them. You can't just put them in therapy. You have to have somebody come around, keep an eye on them every time. And you can drop it to 1 out of 5. But still, 1 out of 5 is going to they're going to re-offend in the first year. I mean, it is... is fucking unreal.
But the way he was arguing it, it was like, I've got to feel sorry for or empathize with, let's say, a serial killer because they think about murdering someone. No, I don't. That's fucked up shit. Like, no, I don't. And I don't defend it, and I don't empathize, and I don't sympathize, or any of that shit. It's the same fucking argument. No, these people are mentally ill. They need fucking help. Yes, right? But to sit there and say that it's they need to come out. Like, is a murderer going to come out and say, I feel like murdering someone today? Like, no, that's never going to happen. Neither is a fucking pedo. And to basically put them out as maps and use that as the soft term for what a pedo is and all of that kind of shit, like, that makes me sick.
All right, everybody settle down. One of the things that he said was, we all agree that we hate pedophiles, right?
Yeah.
We all agree that we hate pedophiles. Anybody here like pedophiles? Anybody here want to defend pedophiles? And none of us said, yes, we want to defend pedophiles. The other thing he said was, well, Vito would come in here and say that, I guess. He wants to come in.
Most pedophiles would too.
Right?
No, but like,
he said, if we could make pedophilia go away, would we support that idea? And that's what he and everybody said yes. Actually, nobody said yes, except for me. I'm the only one who said, yeah, if we could make that go away, we should make it go away. I don't know why we're talking about pedophilia. This is Flashcast. We're supposed to be talking about comics, which is how this started, and then suddenly swerved into the worst fucking soul-stealing crime that an individual could possibly do. And I'm deeply uncomfortable with the conversation. I think talking about pedophilia on the internet is disgusting. I think we shouldn't do that too much. I think we should mostly focus on comics and culture. That's my opinion about this.
Well, we have another culture fight going on. It's called MAPS. Yaps, they try to call themselves too. I think it's part of the same fight that we're having. I think the same people that would burn our lives down would do the worst things in the world to our kids too.
Suka, I didn't bring Dick in. It was never my idea to bring Dick in. He's in the chat and everybody said bring him in except for me. Go review the tapes. I don't want to. Whole thing's ridiculous.
By the way, the reason I shared that tweet from Vito is I even asked him about that tweet on the stream because it was a constant thing that he does is like he
all
would
the
just
time
constantly joke about pedophilia. It's just a constant ongoing thing. And it's just like it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, if you're against it, then why are you making it so like it's a funny joke, and it is what it is. And I agree with you, though. We should move on.
Yes, let's blame EVS for everything and move on. No,
I think Vito's in the chat.
He is.
Does he want to come on? Send him the invite.
Vito, I'm out of here, man.
I'm out of here too. I
don't have my share of fucking ankle biters, man. I'm fucking done.
I'm not doing that.
Definitely after that shit show.
I'm not.
I don't know who y'all.
Move on to Cambia.
Y'all know all these.
Let's give him 5 minutes.
Know any of these cats. Don't drag me into this bullshit.
Let's give him 5 or 10 minutes because we've been talking shit about
That's what you said about Dick. You said 20 minutes and we're moving on, and then we went for another hour.
We'll limit it to 10 minutes.
I'm
for sure. 100%.
I'm going to bounce for real.
I'm bouncing too. I'm sorry. I can't sit here and argue.
I don't have time for that. You know.
I can't do
that. You brung him up. You brought up his tweets. You basically showed a video.
He's the reason it started. He's the reason it started. Dick and him. Oh my God.
Like, and it's the thing. You can't just do stuff like that's why I would say don't talk about it and just.
I've been on streams with you and him. Actually, I have nothing positive, no interaction. That's him, man. Fuck you, Vito, man. I mean, you can come on here, talk shit for 10 minutes. I'm gonna bounce you, bring him on.
Oh shit!
Eric's like, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
I don't want him. I don't fucking. I deal with this bullshit in my real life every day. I don't want to fucking deal with people like this.
Oh my God, I can't believe this shit.
And there's nothing
you can't do that to somebody though, and then not let him at least answer for himself. You can't do that.
I will.
That is immoral.
I get that. I get that part. I certainly get that part. You bring, talking about him, but I don't have. For me personally, I already had my share of fucking.
Eric, you didn't say anything against Vito, so you don't owe him anything, and that's fine. But you know what, Nina?
I don't owe him anything either. He came on my stream.
You brought up his tweets.
because I was saying that's the constant thing that he's doing. He's always joking about pedophilia. That's the only reason I brought it up.
I'm gonna say this. Y'all got, and this is my advice to everybody. I talked about this on my stream. Folk on our side got to learn how to peep game. And what I mean by peep game, I'm talking about like you got to recognize. It's one thing monetizing people. I do it obviously all the time. Got a segment about it. But there's certain types of folks who's the drama farming and the edgelord shit, where they specifically are trying to utilize that other people's names to try to bolster either their own persona, shows, projects that are the dead channels, all that, and giving these fuckers all that energy, I just think is not necessary, because that's exactly what it is that these goofballs want. I think we need to let them fade into fucking obscurity. Fuck these fucking people, man. But definitely after this experience, because like I'm gonna be 100. Like I didn't know this cat, and I got this cat screaming and shit. The fact that y'all even entertain the idea that I was supposed to take this shit serious, I'm gonna hash it out with everybody on this goddamn stream in private for even just having the idea that I was supposed to take that stuff serious. Like we got to talk about that straight up. But
I'm willing to talk about it right now.
Already talked.
Okay, I mean, look,
we'll talk about this. We're gonna talk about it. You and I
listen, my position hasn't changed one single bit.
Yeah,
just
mine
because of that performance.
My position obviously has not changed. The only thing is that I think y'all think way more highly of dickheads than I fucking do. That's it. But either way, just dragging me into that bullshit, like fuck all that. That's just for fucking losers. And like I said, edgelords, ankle bite, nipping at my fucking ankles like chihuahuas, and we supposed to act like take them on face value, acting like they making excellent critiques, as Evie has said, or that they acting in good faith. We need to stop that shit. That shit's fucking gay, like straight up.
That's fair.
That's fucking gay. But I already, hopefully ain't bringing this cat on. I already had a conversation with the person that we about to bring on, so I ain't got nothing else to offer. And I'm not allowing I allow too many people to be chipping at my ankles. We got Isom 2 later this month. If we want to talk about that, let's do that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So you should come on again.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
Bet.
Did you send him the link?
Me? No.
Somebody send him the fucking link. We'll give him 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go to Campia.
I don't have him. I don't have his. I'm blocking him to contact him. This is no way.
Well, Ethan, you have his link, don't you? You have his.
Yeah, I can probably send him the link.
All right, send him the link.
It's one conversation that makes me so angry, and I don't know.
I know. I'm gonna set the alarm for 10 minutes, and that's it, because I can't stand this motherfucker. So
I don't know why we're doing this,
because I think it's fair to let him come on.
Oh my god! I was like,
I don't know why this is an issue. We're sitting here talking about the review of Dick Masterson over Isom, and it's become about pedophilia. And Vito, I sent you.
He's doing labeling the criticism, and I don't like the shit that he does. I think he's a fucking weird motherfucker.
Well,
and with possibility that there could be some EDP vibes there. So, that's all I'm saying.
What is EDP? I don't even know what that is.
EDP was a huge YouTuber that got busted trying to fuck a minor.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was a big thing. So I'll give this guy 10 minutes. While we're waiting. Rocksteady for 20. Damn, Flash, you wrangled quite a stream. Yeah, it's not planned. Totally.
This is going to be.
But it was. It was a super chat. Oh, here he is. Okay.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you got 10 minutes, and then you're gone.
Unfortunately,
I don't think I'll need 10 minutes. I guess I just wanted to come on, and there's been a lot of critiques of me. And I guess, why don't I just address them head on? Does that seem reasonable?
Go for it.
Okay. So, I think a thing a lot of people are saying, and I don't want to talk about this either. Again,
we talk about it a lot, Vito. A lot.
When?
And don't deny that you do. You run out all the time with your cuties jokes.
You're like,
and you're fucking defending pedophiles. Like, it's a whole 2-hour stream with you and Nina, where you defend pedophiles tooth and nail. Like,
Nina,
you're in
that stream was about
here.
Hold on. That stream was what, like a year and a half ago?
Yeah, like a year ago, I think.
But you say that this isn't behavior that you normally do, but there's a lot of evidence out. I could pull out. I don't have this on me, but I'm sure I could go to archive and find a lot of tweets that have been archived. I'm sure that you've said.
I can say this. There was a period of time where obviously my friend reviewed that movie Cuties. I defended him because he's a friend of mine and I really do like his content. And he was a very small creator at the time. He had like...
You're talking about Mr. Girl.
Yeah. And he had like 5,000 subscribers at the time. And he obviously had never dealt with some of the biggest people on YouTube telling me he's a pedophile and a creep. And you know what? If that's your opinion of the guy, you're welcome to it. Obviously, he's a friend of mine. I don't see him that way. So I defended him. At the time, a lot of people then said the same thing to me that they were saying to him. They would say, you're a child abuser, you're a pedophile, whatever else. My defensive way of reacting to that, because I'm an idiot. And I'll say that right now. I handled it badly. I said, yeah, you know what? I am. Yeah, you better hide your kids. You know, you better watch out for Vito. He's going to whatever. And that was my defensive way of, I also had never dealt, I've dealt with heat before, but I've never had hundreds, thousands of people calling me a pedophile.
Vito, that's because people don't like that. Why do you think, why do you think Bud Light and Target and these companies are losing all of this money? Because they're fucking with kids.
Flash, I made a huge mistake. I reacted badly to a lot of negative criticism coming my way. I thought I could brush it off by making a bunch of jokes and going, yeah, that is me. That is, and then you know what? I realized that isn't working. Clearly, people are actually just believing these things about me. So if you actually pay attention to my internet presence, I don't say these things. I don't make these jokes that you accuse me of making all the time. Now, occasionally, like Ethan will come on the show and he'll go, oh, keep girls away from Vito, whatever. And I'll laugh and I'll go, yeah, I know what because I go along with the joke. I've obviously sullied my reputation. And at this point, what am I going to do? Ethan, how could you make that joke at my expense? I go, yeah, I got to own it. I made some stupid pedophile jokes. Everybody really hated it. And I'm really not out there trying to do it anymore. I get it. Everybody was really offended by it. I reacted badly. And that was my, trying to put a shell around myself. Oh, you can't touch me. I can say whatever I want, whatever. I'm an idiot. I fucked up.
So do you still defend them? Do you still feel sorry for these child abusing people?
As a person who believes in mental health intervention, if somebody has not harmed an individual and they're wrestling with thoughts of causing harm, I think they're deserving of help. Obviously, I think it's sick what's in their head. I don't want any children to come to harm. And if a child does come to harm and a child is a victim, obviously, I am far more on the side of children than anything else. Okay, my belief is that by having intervention strategies and getting these people mental health, maybe it will help children. But I know a lot of people disagree with me on that, and that's fine too.
I disagree, but yeah.
And that's fine. Nina, we disagreed on that stream. We
disagreed.
You think there is no helping these people, and I accept that is your view. And I'm sure that's the view of everyone here. Me, I was raised a bleeding heart pussy liberal, and I want to save everybody. And maybe that's something fucked in my head, and all us liberals are dumbasses, okay? It's just the worldview I grew up with.
Canada's quite liberal, and their solution is medical-assisted suicide for people with mental illness and homeless people.
Vito,
I don't agree with the homeless people.
The next time you get it in your head that the pedophile is the victim in this, again, I want you to go to a fucking... No, listen to me. Listen.
I want to be
clear. Fact, by the way, the medical-assisted suicide is a fact. I'm just saying.
I do this stuff. Look, you're having a non-clinical. You're discussing clinical shit, and you don't know what you're talking about. At the end of the day, man, I see a lot of people coming in with this mindset that, oh, that's going to change. You're going to do something. What you're doing, it's like fucking watching a nuclear bomb and hoping the thing doesn't go off. You put people around it and hope to hell that thing doesn't go off. But really, that is a danger. And when it's a fucking truly progressive society, fucking looks out for its most vulnerable, the elderly and children. Children are who we should be protecting in this shit. And again, you sit down with fucking kids, man. You sit down with fucking spend a week, man. I spent years doing this shit. And you know what, man? I've had colleagues that have this mindset. And when you see those people manipulated by child predators, you see them reoffend, going out and doing the most heinous shit possible. There are fucking things that you read on paper that would just scar you. I mean, they're soul crushing. But to have a kid tell you this stuff, It is fucking unreal. And again, you thought for the longest time, man, you're saying, man, I'm just an edge lord. You know, I take people at their word. You want to continue talking about being a fucking pedophile and stuff? I take you at your word. Now you don't like that label. Fair enough, man. But again, that's fucked up, dude. Like there is.
Tug, can I intervene for 1 minute here? Vito, are you a pedophile?
No.
But you like kids? You attracted to kids? No. Shush. Just answer the question, yes or no.
No,
don't be
I'm
funny.
not.
Okay. Not. Let me explain something. See, this is why I'm having trouble here. 2007, I because a lot of people were calling me a Nazi, I started putting out material that suggested that I thought that was funny. I put out a sketchbook called My Struggle. I got my name tattooed here because they were calling it a swastika. They were saying my signature looked like a swastika. And I leaned into the joke because I didn't know what else to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be called a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi, but it's like, if that's funny, I guess. And it was kind of like, self-effacing. What I didn't realize was that my peers, who were, I thought, joking with me, who were my friends, would all turn on me and actually call me a Nazi, and then sit there with struggle sessions with me and say, do you understand that the Jews were persecuted by blah, 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 blah. You guys started this. You guys started calling me a Nazi because I voted for George Bush. And so, I thought we were friends, and I thought we could have this sort of, little joke between us, and then suddenly it became not a joke. And I have had to live with the results of the fact that half of the comic book community thinks I'm a literal Nazi now. So the reason why I just asked Vito if he was a pedophile is because he should just say no. I'm not a Nazi. You know what I mean? But see, that's the situation. I don't respect people who go around and just make up convenient lies to apply hatred for people. They say the worst possible thing about people. Vito, if I were you, I would never, ever, ever in any way talk about this ever again. Never, think, well, how can we help? Who cares? It's not your place. You don't need to worry about it. The question is, do you sympathize with them? Are you one? And the answer is no. And that's it. And just move on with it.
But
because
honestly,
I hate
Ethan,
well, hold on a second. I have another
based
on that. I have another question that I've been very curious about. So your criticism of people that go hard against cuties is that you're a free speech advocate. Now, I don't believe that you are, because you've tried to cancel people multiple times. You especially tried to do it to Nerdrotic when he had Alex Jones on his channel. And then, which makes it even more hilarious, is you went on fucking InfoWars like a week later. The other allegation that I just found out about today is that you were sending clips of Andy Worski saying the N-word and tagging multiple news outlets to try to get his boxing match that he got knocked out in like 3 seconds anyway. But, props to him for getting in the fucking ring. That's balls there alone. But you apparently tried to get that match canceled with clips of him saying the N-word. Now, if you're a bleeding heart liberal, why can't he change? He doesn't do that anymore. But yet you apparently still tried to do that. How can I take that is the reason you defend this movie as a free speech advocate when you are actively trying to get people canceled for just doing free speech? Alex Jones, you may not like him, but he has the right to say the things that he does. That's what a free speech absolutist or even a free speech defender would say, no matter how they feel about his content. So how can I believe that that's the reason that you defend that movie tooth and nail? And you fucking held up and talked about cuties at the trans protest. So it seems to be something that you like to bring up a lot. So how are you a free speech advocate when you're trying to do those things? Can you answer that question for me? And I don't want to hear that you are mad, like a Jarbo excuse. Why did you do that? And how can you say you're a free speech person if that's things you do?
First of all, I had tagged YouTube on a tweet. And
you made multiple tweets, actually.
Hold on.
Multiple tweets.
I'm talking about the Nerdrotic situation. I made one tweet where I said, hey, look at what these guys are doing, spreading COVID and misinformation. Isn't that against the terms of service?
That's not true information. Anyway, go on.
And at the time, I considered it a joke. I knew that YouTube does not take down channels based on tweets, or at least I did not believe they would. And YouTube actually, responded with what I knew they would say,
That's
which
bullshit,
is
Vito.
Why even do that, Vito? You know what you're doing there.
That's
when you
why
tag
you did
Team
it.
YouTube.
You knew.
You know
You've been
exactly
around
what
YouTube.
I didn't file a report because I knew that that's how you actually get channels.
You don't need
down.
to. You tagged and brought it to Team YouTube's attention, which, by the way, has how many followers do they have? I'm going to guess hundreds of thousands as a low estimate. And a lot of people probably have notification on for that. So just them responded. And you know that I'm right because you're on Twitter. So I'm sure a lot of people that popped up in their notifications. What's Team YouTube saying? That brings pretty shitty attention, especially to another content creator.
And on
that alone, how dare you?
You know what? I've already said it's not defensible. I wasn't thinking. Okay, I'd had a little bit much to drink, and I saw my haters were all.
It's not an excuse. I'm like a drunk driver saying I had too much to drink, and I killed that woman or child or family.
I was fucking around on Twitter late at night, and you're on Twitter. And look, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't even try to excuse it. I apologized to those guys as much as I could on multiple occasions. I had a deep-seated apology. I tried my best. I think it's impossible to make apologies in this day and age. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make an effective apology. I offered to donate $500 each to the charity of each of their choices, and they told me that they refused. That's the only thing I can think to do. Again, I fuck up. I make mistakes. I 100% own that. It wasn't funny. It was fucked. It could have got their channels banned. I'm an imperfect fucked, I'm learning this YouTube thing as I go along. I'm learning how far you can take the fight. I'm learning that, sometimes something you do isn't funny. It's actually over the line and you're going to hurt people. That was very early on in my YouTube career. And I made a choice that could have hurt people because I wasn't thinking. Because I honestly was a naive, stupid son of a bitch that didn't understand that they could take that seriously. They could delete the whole channel. So I own that 100%. I still offer up my apology for the day. And if anyone, you don't have to like me. You don't have to just name a charity. I will donate $500 in your name. Okay, that's the most I can do. I can't take it back. I can't fix it. The only thing I can offer up is
I get
money.
that, Vito. I understand. I'm like, we'll go with that you're being genuine in your apology in this. But just going back to what Ethan was saying with regards to the pedophilia stuff.
Hold on a second. What about Andy Warski?
Andy Warski has a channel where he calls me a pedophile every day with his fat co-host. So I saw him hanging out with a bunch of black boxers, and I thought it would be funny to go, hey, have you seen this video where he sees a 6-year-old black kid and calls him the N-word aggressively for 2 straight minutes? Yes, I wanted to harm his reputation with these black people that these other black boxers. I wanted them to know, hey, Andy Warski's kind of a fucked up racist guy. And I do believe Andy Warski is a fucked up racist guy. This wasn't me trying to get the fight canceled. It was, again, a guy who every day is on Twitter going, hey, did you know Vito's a pedophile? Why do you file Vito? He does the exact same shit to me, trying to ruin my reputation. So for once in my life, I went, okay, tit for tat. You got a big thing coming up? Well, here's you being a big racist. So I can't feel nearly as bad about that because that's really just me doing what Andy Warski has been doing to me for 2 years. If anything, the fact that I responded one time after the 2 years of him piling onto me with his podcast and whatever else. Again, what are the rules of the fight? That he's allowed to ruin my reputation?
To be fair, all right. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know his. So I did send him the link if he wanted to come on. So I don't know if he wants to.
2 years on his podcast.
I don't know if he has or not.
Doing regular, hey, here's Vito. He's a pedophile. Let's ruin his channel. Let's whatever else.
Okay,
And
Vito.
week,
I'm gonna comment on this because this is why I had EVS brought up a really good point. Said if you really do believe that that was a line that you took that you shouldn't have taken or whatever, and it's gone way out of hand. And just say you are not and move on. I would accept something like that. But Vito, you literally I never watched your streams except for a couple with this Eric July thing or the time that you had Nick Ricada on. I watched that one. But I see that you guys you either have you even have your channel member names as Vitophiles and you lean into the idea of this thing being something that you are. So that's what I have an issue with. I'm just if you are right and you are correct and you fucked up and you made several terrible jokes and now you're like, okay, I'm not like that, but you keep leaning into it. It's a very big dichotomy for me. I'm like, I can't figure you out. Are you actually trolling all the time, or are you actually like a sympathizer?
I am
like,
not
it makes
a pedophile.
no sense.
I'm not a pedophile. I will tell you that a million times. It's the most abhorrent fucking thing you can do to a child, and as somebody who deeply cares about children, I do not want pedophilia to be a thing that is normalized or engaged in society. Here's my situation. I'm a comedian. My audience knows that for the last 2 years, I've had this label placed on me. So I can either lie to my audience and go, oh, it's not happening, I don't have this bad reputation. Or again, as Ethan comes on the show and he goes, oh, there's Vito, keep the kids away. I can go, ha ha, yeah. And again, like Ethan says, they call him a Nazi. You lean into it a little bit. You acknowledge. I acknowledge it. I have to acknowledge it. I'm not going to be dishonest and say I never said anything and I've never had a controversial opinion in my life. I have a bad reputation on this thing. I think calling my fans being the Vitophiles is a tongue-in-cheek recognition of my past as a creator, of mistakes that I've made.
Okay, that's fair.
And guys, let me be real, and I'm dead serious. And you guys don't have to like me, and I don't expect you to like me. We have very different politics, and I totally get it. I'm trying to be a nicer, kinder person. The internet makes us all fucking crazy. It really does. We get into these fights. We take them too far. I've taken them too far. Yeah. With Nerdrotic, I took it too far. With Andy Worski, honestly, I want to mend things with Andy Worski. I feel terrible that, as this guy was trying to go get his boxing thing, and I was telling people he's a racist, and I did it out of spite and anger of all the horrible things he said to me. I don't want us all fighting, but you end up in this corner. You end up so defensive that the only thing I don't know. It's a problem I have. I'm sure other people.
Why do you fight with people then all the time?
Because
especially people that would probably like agree with you on some things, but you at least I haven't. People always send me shit. I blocked you on Twitter because I don't like to converse, because every time I converse with you, it's you being a fucking asshole.
You're right, and I think look, I don't think I was built for this world. I don't know how to navigate this internet life. I don't know how to have interaction. Yes. And the other thing is, I'm a snarky guy. Like, I have a snarky sense of humor. And what to me, in my head, sounds like, oh, this is a joke. Yellowflash is going to get it. He's going to get him joking around. Nina's going to get it. She's going to get I'm not actually endorsing pedophilia. I'm making a joke at my own expense. And then, Vito just talks about pedophile shit, and he's just trying to piss me off. So I'm not good at Twitter. I'm not good at interacting with you. Honestly, I think when we get on this stream, let me just finish.
Wait. I don't want a trial of Vito. Okay, my faith requires that I forgive. My faith requires I forgive. Listen,
so we want to move on. We want to talk about. We want to move on.
I want to say one more thing. Okay. Just one more thing. Me on Twitter, you have a very imperfect idea of who I am as a man, as a creator. I think when we actually get together, and I think even when we had our discussion on that topic, I think we came to some agreements. And honestly, I don't talk about the topic anymore because Ethan's right. It's not my place to talk about it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a social engineer. It was a topic that came up in that moment because I was talking about my friend and I went down the wrong rabbit hole.
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to be fighting with everyone.
I want to ask one quick question.
I come off that way, and it's go ahead, Ryan.
I want to ask one quick question. It sort of deviates a little bit, but it's still based on the entire reason why you came on. Do you support something like drag story time?
It really depends on the specifics.
Okay.
If there's any amount of nudity or anything like that, no. If it's just a transgender person reading a story in a dress, then I don't know. I'd really have to know the specifics. And I'm sure, and again, we disagree. I'm sure your audience right now in the chat is saying, well, there you go. He's a pedophile because he can't make his mind about drag queen story time. I just think these topics are a lot more complicated.
I think drag belongs at night for adults. It's an adult thing.
And I think that's fair. You know what?
I don't think kids should be involved in anything to do with drag, but that's me. Hey, and you know what, Vito, I understand and I respect the fact that you came on here to talk things out.
You don't have to reprogram him. The question is
just like you a little bit less now.
Yeah, like are you what people say you are?
You're pretty civil.
Yeah,
you're better than Dick.
That you're in with as many people on the panel. I give you some
Our entire ecosystem is built on edgy jokes. See, this is the whole thing. This is what we do. And I don't want us to descend to the level of hypocrites where we're like, SJW's going, he is the thing he's joking about, because I endured that and it still affects my life. And I'm not going to be a part of doing that to somebody else. I'm just not going to do that. And I really think people need to just kind of go, okay, just ask him directly. Is that who you are? And he's being very sincere now. He says that's not who he is. If he was one, I would be the kind of guy who would say, get rid of this dude. He's saying he's not that thing. And so I just how about if you just take him at his word? The guy's about to cry over it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Eric is back.
I'm not going to cry.
I won't. I'll stop talking about it. But I mean, for real though, stop talking about it as well. Like, I
honestly,
it's not something to joke about. I'd rather be called a Nazi than a pedo.
Children, man. And I don't like that. I don't like that shit.
I want to be.
And I think anybody with kids has the same position as me. I'm pretty sure.
I want to be real with you. I've honestly stopped talking about it. A lot of people will take old screenshots and say that, whatever. But here's the other thing. I'm not a dishonest guy. So if somebody comes to me and they say, did you say this? I will say yes. I'll say, yes, that's something I said. And then people go, oh, look, he's talking about it. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should just ignore people who confront me about it and stop trying to be honest. But I'm not bringing it up. It's not a topic I'm interested in. I'm over that debate. And I accept that I have this bad reputation. I have to work to earn people's trust back by proving that I genuinely care about people and I don't want harm to come to children. Fine. I have to earn that. And you guys don't owe that to me. And I'm going to do it on my own. And none of you guys have to like me. That's the end story. I just really hope that you understand that what you've seen of me is an incomplete picture. There is more of a man here than a couple bad tweets that I've made over the years. That's all I can say. Eric, you can call me a crack smoker, and I'll leave you guys to it. Okay?
Oh, man, what? I was going to... All right.
Well, you needed to jump in there.
I was going to address some things.
Well, go ahead, and maybe he'll come back.
No. Not without him here. That's
no. Well, he'll come back. Probably you did.
No, I wanted to...
let's move. Let's move on.
We're good. We're
Jesus
good.
Christ,
I'll still hang out.
Nauseating.
That's cool.
Everybody's getting it all out tonight.
Oh yeah,
I know. It's like a therapy session over here in Flashcast.
Yeah, that was something. I came on though. I mean, I'll give him that. And,
look, he's doing. This is the whole thing. Like I'm not crazy about Vito. I mean, he's. But it's like I'm watching this and I'm going. I went through that same thing, but as a Nazi. You know what I mean? Like people call me. And I see what's happening to him, and he's like, I can't. I'm funny. I'm a comedian. I got to lean into it. It's fucking. He's done a bunch of other stuff. You go after him about the Friday Night Tights, Alex Jones thing. That's perfectly enough a reason to dislike the guy. But pedophilia is a really rough thing to have tagged to you. I would probably end my own life if somebody thought that about me. I really would.
See, Ethan, you
brought it on himself.
I know that. I know.
Ethan, you weren't sympathizing with Nazis. Maybe you leaned into it a bit, but he was literally sympathizing with like
it's not even that. It's still not even that crucial. This guy went on his diatribe. That's what I wanted to address because he's getting off way too easy. Pedophilia shit. That's just fucking weird. All that, but for someone to have spent as much time as he has, definitely trying to defame other people, such as myself. I'm not buying into this whole, I just don't want to fight. I don't really want to fight. I don't know. It's like that, again, a JoJo meme where it's like next year you're going to say you were pretending to be retarded. That's not good enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not good enough by any means. You don't get to be a shit stirrer, defame other people, and then act as if there's someone else in error. Like, this is the world works in interesting way.
I think Jesus is coming back tonight. What do you guys think?
Maybe.
Fucking crazy.
This is the thing. To anybody out there, like, just stop that shit. Like, if you don't want people doing that weak ass shit to you, then stop doing it to other folks. Like, don't be defaming people just because you don't like them. Don't be trying to attribute their whatever lifestyle to abhorrent things. Just because you dislike them, because inevitably speaking, the gun's going to be pointing back to you metaphorically. Of course, got to say that because I'm on YouTube. But you know, it's going to be pointed back to you, and nobody likes to feel that way. Everybody here probably has gone through this sort of social media cycle where people are calling them all sorts of foul things because they ran with it. But that guy participates in that bad behavior just as much as anybody else. So you can't expect other people to treat you with some level of
he's not our friend. Okay. He's not a friend of what we're doing and what we're about. At the same time, he's also not a pedophile. So you know what I mean? So let's actually like level criticism where it's due and not pull out fucking nukes on people, because that's what they do to us.
Agreed.
And I don't want to do that. I just don't want to.
I'm going to let it go now. You know, let his actions from here on out, you know, speak for themselves. But we could, like stuff like the Isom stuff is that, but I'll let that stuff go. I think, you know, I felt that he is very unhappy with the situation he's put himself in. So I don't like the false flagging shit though at all, and that alone is enough for me to.
Listen, we've gotten rid of people from our own community for that. You know what I mean? The false
pedophilia stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
I get what you're saying, Ethan, and I respect that. I'm gonna not.
I don't even. I'm like sickened by the whole thing. Like I don't even know how I feel about it. I just what it felt like was what people were doing to me.
I know.
You know, 7 years ago when they were like, "Don't you understand? 8 million Jews were killed, and here you are, you know, engaging in Nazism."
You're projecting a little bit of your goodness onto him, though.
Man, it was awful.
He really leaned into it. Like I feel like you're projecting a little bit of your own goodness onto him, but that's like I understand because you're feeling empathy for him.
I'm not a comedian. He thinks he's a.
He thinks he's a comedian. And I'm not laughing at any of his jokes. And I'm like, but then again, women apparently don't understand humor. So
shit. All right.